that's the sad part. So you got to get up early when mom.
You didn't
It's my
kick the
version
bed?
of kicking the bed.
Oh,
Well, I
there you
did.
go.
That's
Okay.
why they're up.
There you go.
But that's the way we're kicking off our coffee talk every day now, so that we can spotlight our kids, because we know that they're not in school, and that's something that they proudly do in our area at our schools, and we want to keep that tradition alive and keep those kids doing that. So if you have a child from Lyon County or Dawson or Caldwell or wherever, and you say, you know what, we would really like for them to do the pledge on the air with you in the morning, all you have to do is email your name and phone number to us, and we'll get a hold of you and get that all hooked up. Right,
That's
Ty?
exactly right. At WPKOnline@gmail.com.
Well, we have a visitor. Well, I don't know. He's not really a visitor. Wade White, you're basically family. You're not a visitor anymore.
I like being family.
How about that?
That's awesome.
Speaking of Lyon County, how's everybody doing down there?
They're doing the best they can. There's a bug going around, so
well,
we're trying to avoid that the best we can.
I'll tell you what, though. We just got through reading about the blood drive.
Yeah.
And that's something that you had let me in on last night. And I love that that's going on, because even though some of our blood drives have been canceled, due to a lot of their restrictions, that didn't mean that the need for blood went away.
Yes, that didn't go away. Louis Zimmerman, who always contacts me to do their blood drives, called me the other day and said, okay, we're in a mess here. So they told me about the bus they could bring. They told me about the precautions they could take, because that was going to be something that a lot of people would want to know. Okay, how do I know that there's precautions being taken? And he sent me a list a mile long of the things that they're going to do to protect people. So when I saw that, I said, okay, you got your act together. Let's do this. And we're going to set up actually at the library, which is right next door to the courthouse. And we're asking people to call in, or a lot of people's got the Red Cross app. I've got that. And you can go in there and set up your appointment. There's 34 appointments available. 14's already booked. So I hope people will call in or go online and do it. That way nobody's standing in line.
Well, that's amazing, though. I mean, because you're still helping your neighbors out, especially at a time when you really need it.
Exactly, and that's the best thing about Kentucky, and especially West Kentucky, is how, for example, we've got it set up to where if somebody needs groceries or so forth, we've got 4 churches sitting there waiting to take them groceries. I've had one call. Now that says that doesn't say that there's people that doesn't need it.
Right.
That says that the neighbors were like a week ahead of me. So that's just the way people are. They want to help. They want to help their neighbors, and this is just another way we can do that.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, we've got churches that are just Superman. I mean, they know the need, and they know where to look for it, and it's almost like they get there before the need ever really makes it to the phone call.
Oh yeah, that's what they're looking out for. They know they can't meet in large gatherings, so they're like, okay, well, now's our time to serve and be the feet of Jesus, and that's what they're doing.
So I hear you've got some good news, though.
Which part?
You're all of it. I want to hear all kinds of good news, but especially the coronavirus patient is feeling better.
Yes, they've been released, so that's good. So we don't have any active ones right now. The only other one we were worried about tested negative. So,
Yay.
So right now we're waiting to see. I'm sure that the experts tell us it's here. That we just haven't tested enough. So I've just got to trust what they're saying and know that when all of a sudden we get a whole bunch, that they were here all along. And the way I look at it, we've just got to be careful about how we behave right now. That's the biggest issue. It's like, and I think a lot of people understand this. When our kids were growing up and we had guns around the house, we always told them, pretend that gun is loaded. Even if you've unloaded it, pretend like it's loaded and handle it that way and be careful with it. Well, we got to pretend, I think, that we have it and that we could pass it on to somebody else even though we're not showing symptoms. And if we do that, we'll follow the 6-foot rule. We'll wash our hands. We'll try to keep our distance from people for a little while. So that's probably the best thing we can do, but
that's the most responsible way I've heard of that. As far as because somebody like me with kids, we've done that gun training with our kids, and that makes sense to me. It really does.
It's totally responsible to do it that way, Wade. And, of course, you mentioned the churches in Lyon County. Speak a little bit of how you feel Lyon counties are handling this overall situation with the closures, curbside, pickup and delivery, and also your relationship with other officials such as emergency management, the governor's office, and those kind of things.
Well, I'll start locally with our emergency manager. I've got a great emergency manager doing an incredible job. I try to concentrate on what we need to do right now. He concentrates on what we're going to do in 2 weeks. So it's a good team effort there. And I'm sure that Larry Curlin can say the same thing. As for the people, the churches, it's amazing to see all the things that they're doing. And you were just reading through a whole lot of things. People are starting to think outside the box, and that's what we've got to do. And that's why I've been trying to tell people, let's be wise but not paralyzed. And that's what I mean by that. We've got to pretend like we're the loaded gun, but at the same time, we can still get out and go to these wide open spaces and go picnic and go buy our food from our restaurants, because our small business is suffering. Yes. It's to the point to where they don't know when the end is in sight, and I don't know how many of them can make it through this if we continue to close down and not go and try to participate in the economy the best we can.
Well, if you're wondering about where to go, I will tell you, I have seen Mr. Wade White, and he's been over finding some really neat places to have a picnic, and he can help you out, too. You just need to message him, because he found some red velvet cake yesterday.
Yes, I did. I tell you, I've gained a lot of weight because I'm trying to go through every drive-through I can find just to keep that going, and I'm not hungry right now, that's for sure. But if you get tired of sitting in the house, pick a restaurant, go by, get you some food. And out at Lewis Jones Park, we've got all kinds of picnic tables. You don't have to gather. And also we've got trails, almost 12 miles of trails that you can walk on, you can bike on. You can just walk down in and just sit down against a tree like I like to do. I don't want to walk too far, but I sure like to enjoy just sitting there and listening to nature. So, we need to get out and do those kind of things and try to help our local businesses the best we can while still following the guidelines that the governor has given.
Well, I mean, I've always heard that vitamin D is just, good old sunshine and getting out. It's just good for the soul. It's good for, your outlook on life.
Right.
Well, so, about the lakes. I can't talk about Lyon County without talking about lakes and that sort of thing. Where are we? Are we allowed to go fishing? Are we allowed to do those things? I mean, what are our options there?
Boat ramps are open. Yeah, go fishing. That's what I've been trying to get people to realize they can do. I went out a little while Saturday just to drive around and fool around on the lake, and there was a lot of families that if they didn't have boats, they were on the side of the lake just trying to fish and do something. So, yeah, that's wide open, and people are invited down there to do that. Stop by a restaurant, get something to go, gas up at the gas station, and go enjoy the sunshine in between the rain.
Well, there's a lot of little grills and picnic spots, in certain areas around the lake already set up for you. Go grill a hot dog.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there are some recreational areas that are owned by the Corps that are shut down now. There are some counties that have closed their parks. Ours is staying open. We've got to allow people to go and do the things that they can do outside.
Well, now, if we say, let them go fishing, what's up with the license thing? How do they get a hold of those? Because I don't want them to go and get in trouble.
Well, you can do that online.
Right.
I don't even know where you buy them I guess Walmart might sell them or a sporting goods store, but most people are buying them online. So just go online and buy your fishing license and take care of it that way.
I think that's fantastic, though. I mean, that really opens up a lot of, because it's right next door to Caldwell, too. And all of us, this is the time of year when we want to stretch our legs and get out and throw a bobber in the water or just get out and walk around.
Exactly.
And I think, Wade, if I understood the directive from the governor from yesterday's conference, even though the non-essential businesses have to close their doors to traffic, they can still do curbside just like the restaurants as well.
They can. And I was on the phone last night with several people calling, asking, is this affecting me or not? And I can't really give that guidance. That's not me doing it. So I refer them to there, but I just told them to use the best common sense they can. If they're on the list, you need to figure out what it means for you. And the people that are going to shut their showrooms or whatever it may be are going to try to figure out how they can still operate and keep going the best they can. So keep that in mind, everyone out there, that there are businesses that may be on the list but may still try to be open. Give them a call, find out what they're doing, and support them the best you can.
Lyon County schools, everything kind of lined out there and going?
Yeah, they are. They're delivering food to the kids that need it, so that's going well. They're taking buses out and meeting them in certain locations. One of our magistrates drives a bus, so he keeps me up to date on how well that's going. It seems to be going well. He even, if somebody don't show up, he hops in his bus and he knows where they live, and he goes to their house, gives them their food, and then says, "Now you got to turn in your homework too." So they're going above and beyond. So it's working good right now. I know that everybody wants to get back to normal. I want to get back to normal, and at some point we're going to have to get closer to normal because this economy, it's going to be tough to keep it going for that long.
Well, and I've heard you say it before, if we'll behave, we can get closer to getting back to normal at some point. But if we'll just give in and stop being stubborn and doing what we're told, that'll help.
Yeah, the president called for 15 days. Let's do this for 15 days and see what happens. So I think we're on day 8, maybe. We're halfway through it. I don't know what comes next. I really don't. I do know that big business, the airlines, we need all that. Mm-hmm. They're going to get bailed out. They got good lobbyists. But my local restaurants there in town that I eat at, I don't think they've got lobbyists. And they're single families that are trying to get started up, that they can't make it through a long, protracted time of selling 50% of what they normally sell. Same thing in Caldwell County. So we can't lose those small businesses. And I think there's going to be a time where people start asking, okay, how far do we go down this road before the damage we do to ourselves is worse than the damage from the virus? I mean, where does that line come? And I think that's something, in the next maybe 2 weeks, people are going to start asking. Right now, I think everybody is trying to do the best they can to make sure this don't spread. But you got to look back in history. We had the SARS, we had MERS, we had the swine flu. That got into about 61 million people, and about 12,000 died on that. So, but I don't remember a whole lot from it. I remember hearing about it on the news every now and then, but we weren't shutting a lot of things down.
No, and I think that's what I think we're having a hard time understanding, is this unprecedented aspect. Of course, obviously, this virus is highly contagious. It's dangerous, but it is. It's you go from 1 hour knowing something and you think, okay, and then the next hour you get other kind of news. So it's still fluid and a lot of things changing, and it happens really fast. And I think that's one thing that when we've talked to other emergency officials and local government officials that have been here, it's been just so hard to adjust to. Are you pleased with the communication lines and everything you're getting from Frankfurt and then on up the chain?
We get the guidance that the governor puts out every evening, and I watch his telecast. I wish there was a little bit more ability for me to be able to give a certain number if people have questions, because they don't need to be calling me asking me, "Oh, can I open, or can I do this?" That's the only thing I wish, that he had some type of hotline of maybe an attorney or somebody that would take his directives and then tell people, okay, no, you're in this category or you're not, because I can't answer all that on Facebook. It's just not my place to do it. So that's the one thing I wish that they would change, and I've asked them to. But I'm sure he's doing the best he can. This is unprecedented, like you said. It's not something that he has a playbook that he can go by. So I'm going to try to do everything that he sends out and tells us to do, so that we all are doing the same thing.
I will say, I'd want to remind everybody too that Lyon County and all of our surrounding counties are having the same problems we are, and you are one that is so good about you're really trying to hit all aspects and make sure everybody's informed to the best of your ability. The information that you have, it's very quickly relayed to the people that live there in Lyon County. Make sure you remind them where to go to get that. Obviously, WPKYonline.com. I mean, that's something that we try. I know that we're in Caldwell County, but we try to make sure that we keep everybody in Lyon County informed as well about what's going on there. But what are the other means of doing that? Can they get the information?
Well, the quickest way, of course, is Facebook. I know not everybody has Facebook, but if you've got Facebook, you can go to Lyon County, Kentucky. I think that's what it's called, and like that page, and that's where I update probably more than I need to, but I try to keep people informed, because the more they know, the less they worry about things. You want to know what's going on. It's our responsibility as elected officials to tell you everything that we can tell you that we know. So that's what I try to do on there is do that. The news media has been great, from WPSD all the way over here to Caldwell to our papers. They're trying to get as much information out as possible. But I just caution people, be careful what you see on Facebook or what you hear, because it's amazing the rumors that have come back to me, about, there's several cases over here in this county, and it never pans out. Until I hear it from the health department or I hear it from the governor, I'm going to be very careful about believing it. So,
well, and I want to take that a step further too, because I will say, as far as WPKY goes and our news department, if you hear it from our news department, it's because it come, as far as Lyon County goes, from Wade White, and that that to us, that's where we depend on.
Or a very trusted source, right, that has been verified and probably, right, double checked. So.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that the health department has warned us about, since all these new tests are coming online this week, is there might be reports that get in front of the state reporting it. So I'm going to try to wait on the state on that and see what they say, because there could be reports that just get mixed up.
Are you expecting the numbers to go up?
They're telling me that, so I guess it will. I don't know. There's so many different things that you hear on the news media in Washington and so forth that
it's hard to keep up with because it's moving so fast and things change daily. But I think if you the main thing is, if you're going to get information, get it from a trusted source.
Right.
And listen to your local authorities and adhere to what they say, and as well as on up the chain. Listen to your government officials, what they're telling you to do.
And one other thing, the governor's got a good website. I mean, it stays up to date every day. It's updated. You can just type in Kentucky.gov. And then on that page, it shows you where you can go to the COVID-19 information. But I go to that all the time. All his directives are on there. So that would be a good source to follow if you're trying to make sure that you're getting the accurate information, because so far all of his information has been very accurate.
Well, and that's the other question I think a lot of people have is once, and you have something to go off of. If somebody is found to have had it in your county, how do they contact people? When are they going to contact people? But that goes through the health department does that, right?
Health department did that. And the day before we had our first case, I had gone on Facebook and explained, here's the steps if we get one, so that people already know. And then we got the next day, so we went ahead and implemented those steps. And the steps were the health department starts contacting everybody that person came in contact with and tries to find out and interviews them to see if they need to be in isolation or not. And that's what took place. and one person was isolated, and they ended up testing negative, and that's all that we know of. And that's what I'm having trouble understanding. This person had it. It's highly contagious, but we can't find anybody else that's got it. So maybe we're just not finding them, or they're not having symptoms.
Well, and that's one of those things you say, oh, my goodness, well, I didn't get a call. Well, okay, good job.
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't have to get a call.
Right.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. I sure do appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Let me know when I can come back, and I sure will do it. But I'll try to do my best with this. And the main thing is we need to follow these directives, but also keep our small businesses alive because we're going to need them on the other side of this.
Keep patronizing them, using their drive-throughs and their curbside pickup, and thank them for what they're doing.
Exactly, and thank our first responders. They're
Definitely.
out right in the middle of all this, and
Healthcare workers.
Got them some more masks and all that they needed from the state. So I was glad to see that roll in the other day.
So you guys are okay on that end, too?
Yeah, I helped the EM deliver a few, but yeah, we took them to the rest homes and all those places. So we've already got more orders placed, though.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You always make me feel better, Wade White.
Oh, it's going to be okay.
Hey, it sounds good. Now, that's what we need on a loop right there. It's going to be okay.
It's going to be all
we'll
right.
just
It will
loop that. It is 8:36. Judge Executive Wade White from Lyon County. Stick around. We've got more to come on Coffee Talk, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Clarksville's Bridgestone Metalfa is a great place to work, but don't take my word for it.
Hi, my name is Adam Mendez. I've been there for 6 years. The culture at Bridgestone is, I think it has its family. It's been good to me. I've actually brought in my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, my nephew, friends and family members that are all in there. I mean, if I make good money, why can't they?
If you'd like to start a career at Bridgestone Metalfa, visit our website at metalfausa.com.
Fortner Gas is featuring their amazing mower sales and service team at the KDIZ location. Tim Cook, manager, and his staff can take care of all your mower needs, any brands, with their full service department. Fortner Gas is a certified dealer of Dixie Chopper, Big Dog, and Bobcat mowers. All have great warranties. They also offer free delivery and pickup, and customers can drop off or pick up mowers and parts at the home office in Princeton, free of charge. Check out Fortner Gas and be ready for the upcoming mowing season.
Hit the ground running this spring on a new John Deere compact utility tractor. Whether you're mowing, landscaping, building a fence, or starting a garden, these compact tractors are up to the task. Own one today with 0% for 60 months financing and no money down. Available now through April 30th, 2020. Come by Hudson, your local John Deere dealer, or visit us online at HudsonInc.com.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
This is Mallory Hancock Lawrence, and we love our Caldwell and Lyon County friends. We invite you to come to Cadiz anytime you can to shop with us. We're making it even easier for you. Whether you work in Cadiz or just come to town for a visit, stop in and shop with us. But if you're in a hurry, you can pre-order your groceries at Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com. It's so easy and convenient. Of course, we want to see your smiling face anytime we can, but if you're in a hurry, Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cadiz.
1580 103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty. Good morning for Coffee Talk. And you know, if you got a little hankering this morning, I got
a hankering.
I got a hankering for some really good. You know, I'm a little picky about my biscuits. I'm not gonna lie. I am a little picky. I had a grandma that could flat cook. Now she could just flat cook. But have you met Kay?
Yeah.
Because that woman can make a biscuit, and she knows how to make gravy, And man, her plate lunches, the roast beef, the sandwiches, the omelets. Did you know you can get breakfast all day?
Yeah, I usually do when I go. A lot of times I'll just get a big old omelet there. Although I like open-faced roast beef too. So.
Oh, her omelets are just the best.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. Anyway, if you'd like to taste what we're talking about all the time, because I know we talk about Miss Kay all the time, Kay's Kitchen. Of course, she is open and open for business. She'll cook you whatever you need and do it every single day. And they're right there on North Jefferson. And you can call in your order ahead of time. And they're even doing some delivery options now as well. So make sure that you give her a call, 270-365-2709. Make sure that you tell her that we called. And then usually on Wednesdays, she has meatloaf. Oh, hello.
I love it.
Oh, she can make a meatloaf now. I'm telling you right now. 8:40, and again, Kay's Kitchen, and tell them we sent you. Now, there's something online that I found the other day that I thought was so neat. And Miss Amber Foster, are you there?
I am.
Well, hi. This lady, Ty, I'll tell you, this is Amber Foster, and you know we were all on social media the other day, and I got an invitation to a group. Now, Amber, tell us about this group that you all started.
Okay. It is called Princeton, Kentucky Errand Runners. And basically, the idea behind the group is kind of like a message board to help out elderly and vulnerable populations during this COVID-19 I don't want to call it a quarantine, but the restrictions that we're facing and some of the threats that we're facing for these populations about going out and getting supplies and things.
Well, I'll tell you, that's one of the repeating factors, it seems, is that, you know, the elderly can't get out and about as much as they used to. And you know what? There are some elderly that, Ty, they were having trouble getting out and about before any of this happened.
Well, and they're considered also high risk if they contract it, so they don't need to be out. And so that's where this particular service, I think, Amber, is fantastic because, you know, someone can get out there and get their essentials as needed, and they can stay and not worry about getting out in the population. So it's fantastic. So what kind of things are you getting for folks? Errands you're running, places you're going? Tell us about that.
Well, right now, honestly, we need some help getting connected with people that need help because the population that we need to reach, they're not really on Facebook.
No, we've talked about that before.
So we need some of the younger people, you know, if you have a relative or a family member or a neighbor that you know needs some help, if you can step up and say, hey, you know, I know this person, they might need some help, and then we can put somebody together with them, then that would make this so much more successful. We have had a couple people, you know, helping walk dogs and things like that. And we've been giving a lot of resources for things, you know, that can help out everybody in the community and some information about what's going on as things progress. But right now we haven't had a whole lot of requests for actual personal shopping and things like that.
Well, and one of the things that I wanted to point out, now, this is not some way of trying to make some money off of people during a bad time.
Absolutely.
So how much does this cost? I started to say, let's throw that out there.
No. Everything is free. Nobody is allowed to sell anything in this group. Nobody is allowed to charge for their services. They're not going to say, hey, I will go run your errands for $10 an hour. No, this is just people coming together as a community during this rough time and turning something negative into a positive.
I loved it because I was on there the other day and I said, hey, I'm heading out to Walmart. Does anybody need anything? And that's kind of like something you do with your next door neighbor, but except you guys are extending that to the entire community. And I thank you for it. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Absolutely, and we are happy to do it. I'm a social media manager, generally, is my profession, and I saw these groups starting on the West Coast when this started. Big cities, San Francisco, places you would never think, honestly, that would come together like this. And that's kind of what inspired me to do this here. Because I thought, oh my gosh, if they can do it, if they can band together, our little town can definitely band together and take care of our own.
Well, and I'll tell you, can you give them a phone number? Because a lot of them, if they're not on social media, if they need to give them some information, how do they go about doing that?
Right. Of course, like I said, you can contact me on social media or you can contact me. I actually have a business number that I use, and I'll get you that number in a second. And it is an out-of-town number because I deal with people all over the country, but it will work for this. And whenever you're ready, I can give you that number.
Go ahead.
Okay. The number is 617-453-8152, and that is my business line, and it can also receive text messages. So if you want to shoot me a message, or you can leave a voicemail, and I'll call you back if I don't get you right away.
Hey, Amber, say those last 4 again.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Sorry about that. It didn't come through.
Gotcha. I live way out in the country, and calling in this morning, I may have a little bit of a bad connection. Okay, the number is 617-453-8152.
That got it that time. So, Amber, are there any limitations? Of course, this is a volunteer where people can join this group, correct? And then it'll be distributed that way.
Group.
Yeah.
Yep. And anybody can find it. Anybody can join it. And I have several people, volunteering to help. That I can put you with. There's no limitations. I mean, this is really for anybody, because vulnerable can mean a lot of things. It can mean somebody who is sick, they have other things going on where they're vulnerable. It can mean a single parent that has a house full of kids and doesn't need to drag all her kids out to the store.
Right.
In this situation. So, it's open to anybody that needs help. We're not going to, put a strict criteria on this unless, there's something obviously taking advantage or something like that. We might say, hey, okay.
Other than you can't sell nothing and be charging for stuff.
You can't sell and you can't charge.
And what is the name of the Facebook page again? What is it called?
It is Princeton, Kentucky Errand Runners.
Princeton, Kentucky Errand Runners.
Mm-hmm. It's a public group. It should be searchable for anybody to find.
Well, thank you so much. We sure do appreciate what you're doing. I think it's a great idea. I know that there's more and more logging on all the time, and we appreciate you and all the ones that have offered to help in our community.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Amber Foster and, of course, Ty, those are the kind of stories that we want to hear more and more and more of. And exactly. I think more and more people are going to start, because I think everybody wants to help in some way, but maybe they just don't know how. That's a great option right there. Amber Foster's, and tell us that group name again.
Princeton, Kentucky Errand Runners. Princeton, Kentucky Errand Runners. That is the Facebook page where this is, where you can join the group, but also a number to call for more information if you're not on Facebook or need help or interested in getting this service, 617-453-8152. I'll
tell you what, if you hang out for a minute, I saw somebody come through the door that's a good buddy, and I'll tell you, he's got some exciting news for us. So hang out, Big John is heading in the door. 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Health First Community Health Center is concerned about your overall health and the well-being of our communities. To help stop the spread of viruses, good hygiene is essential. That starts with washing your hands with soap and water. Together, we can help stop the spread and stay healthy. For more info or to make an appointment for care, call our office at 270-365-9445. Dr. Jamie Perry and Chelsea Akins are accepting new patients at 1100 South Jefferson Street, Princeton.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Imagine if there were a place you could go to buy gift certificates to some of the best businesses in town. Now, imagine all those great gift certificates priced 30, 35, 40%, and at times over 60% or more off retail every day of the week. The Loyal Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Well, you know what? I told Ty what was going to happen, and then I fibbed. There we go. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Mostly cloudy, high 57. Tonight, showers, low 44. Tomorrow, showers likely, even a thunderstorm. They're talking about that's even possible tomorrow, right?
And a slight risk of some severe weather. We're keeping an eye on it for you.
Well, the high is 64. Should be a nice warm day anyway. Then on Wednesday, partly sunny, high 62. We've got the sun trying to peek out, and 46 at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Life is filled with moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty and Big John. I'm excited for you, man.
We're excited. It's good morning. It's good to see you.
I'm telling you, Big John's BBQ, I loved the big green trailer. And you've been like food truck of the year now, right?
2 years running.
Couple of years in a row. How about that?
Yeah.
Great.
And the best.
And that's pretty well, as soon as you opened up, bam, you were everybody's favorite food truck.
Oh, we stay busy, and we appreciate all that everybody does to support us. I mean, we can't do it without the community.
Well, now, just because your food truck just opened in the last couple of years doesn't mean that you haven't been around barbecuing and smoking this stuff for a long time.
Probably over 20 years.
Well, and it's good enough that we all used to beg him to do it on the side, especially around, Thanksgiving and those time frames. We were always, I think... Did your phone ever stop ringing?
No, which is a good thing. And, like everything else, we was doing it as a hobby and for friends and family or whatever else. And then it just grew into what it is today. And thanks to our community, friends, whatever, it's still growing. And we appreciate that.
Well, and you've got a lady that, doggone it, you better tell her how wonderful she is.
She is. She's on the road today getting supplies. That's the problem we're having today, like everybody else. But we're on the road constantly making sure we have something to operate.
Well, now you've been on South Jefferson, right? And right there at David Rogers Grooming,
Yes,
right
ma'am.
there at the parking lot. And you've had the green truck there, but all last summer and fall, you were all over the place, right?
Right. Hopkinsville, Kelly, Lyon County.
Seriously, we saw you at Edible.
Edible. And we've got a lot of things booked this year, a lot more things booked to take it to and do. But, of course, some of them are already canceling due to this coronas, which is understandable. But people's health and safety is most important. It's not the events. They'll come around again. So.
Well, and that's a good thing, too, is that, with you, boy, you're perfectly suited for what's going on right now because of the food truck aspect of it. Man, we're used to walking up to that window, taking it and go. And I can call ahead. That's what I love about them. I can call Crystal or message her and say, hey, I'm going to need a burger and some fried pickles is usually involved. and I always say, hey, I'm coming by. And you can get it and go and keep on going.
Right. We try to do our best to accommodate. That's the great thing about the food truck business. You can walk up, you can get it and go. We try to reduce the lines as much as possible with the call-in orders and whatever else, and we offer delivery. We've got, I guess, the cheapest delivery rate, $1, per order. We do a 3.5-mile radius, right? Or at the moment, we have extended that. But as far as the mileage with this going on or whatever, we're not concerned about that. We want to make sure that somebody has a meal. Elderly, they're scared to get out, so we take everything into consideration, what we do. We are community proud, and we love the people of this town, and we're going to try to do what we can to do to provide what they need, regardless of what it takes.
Well, and I think it's cool, too, that, when you talk about that, you put your money where your mouth is, because you end up out there at the factory and, bringing their dinner to them out there.
Right. With this corona's going on, the shutdown, there's many non-essential businesses that are closed, which, affects everyone's income. But there's many essential businesses that are still open, factories and stuff, and we're here for those people. We will get you something. People that's laid off or done, we will work with you to make sure you have something. We've been in contact with the city, county officials. Mr. Wade White was just in. We've talked to him. Many other city and county officials has contacted us, want to know what we can do to provide. Since we're mobile, where can we go? We'll go where the need is, as long as we can get supplies to supply.
And tell us about that. Speak to that a little bit. You said that Crystal was out getting some things today. What about your meat supplies? Wherever you get your meat, has so far as no disruptions? You haven't had any issues?
Hampton Meats is they're great. They're working with us to get what we can get, but then again, it's a domino effect in a sense. they can't get it because we can't get it from them because they're not getting it from the suppliers higher up, and that's where it's falling down, up higher down to the local level. Crystal's on the road day going to Clarksville to get things that we need. We are on the phone constantly calling people to see what they got, if we can get it, and we've got somebody on the road going wherever it's got to go. But then again, like we've talked before, with no income on some of these people and different things, that's going to slow up because, like many of the restaurants or businesses, if we are getting it, but it's not going out because the people doesn't have the income, then it's got to stop. Some point it's going to stop.
Right.
But then again, we're going to do what we can to make sure they've got something.
Well, and you have, there's been a lot of talk about different things that the truck drivers have been having a hard time getting a meal, when they need to rest and those sorts of things. And that's kind of close to your heart, right?
It's over 30 years of me driving a truck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been snowed in for 3 or 4 days out west, sitting on the side of the road, eating out of a cooler. National Guard has brought stuff out to help and do things, and when I look back at that, I also know the domino effect of that. If we as drivers can't get into a facility for food, restrooms, or whatever else, eventually you start seeing that left over in our towns and on the side of the roads or wherever else, and it gives drivers a bad reputation in a sense because, they're trashy, they're this, but they have nowhere else to go. And it comes down to times where you do what you have to do, to survive. And
I did see that y'all were supporting them, though.
We are supporting them. We've talked to Mayor Young. He is working with us, trying to find a spot on a truck route somewhere to move, to set up, to accommodate not only truckers, there's RVs, there's many vehicles that cannot get into a drive-through. Travelers and if they can't get through, and a lot of them won't allow a walk up to the windows, I mean, that's where we come in. I mean, you can walk to our window and get what you need.
That's kind of your definition on a food truck, right? Walk to my window.
You come to me, and like we said before, we are community proud, but our community reaches further beyond Caldwell County. Our community is Lyon County, Dawson, Madisonville. I mean, our community reaches wherever. That's just, we love people, we love meeting people, and we want to help whoever we can help when we can help. My thing is, with all the still restaurants that are open, we're all feeling the effect of this, along with, of course, private individuals. They're feeling the effect, which also is a domino effect. But we need to come together as one, because there's plenty to go around for everybody. We need to come together as one. I mean, Gather on Main has just opened recently. I mean, they're feeling the struggles. We just purchased the Cat's Den before all this come up, and now we're feeling the struggles on that end. But we're trying to provide still on both ends of the county. But if we all come together as a group, we can make sure that our community has what it needs.
And I love that, and you just mentioned that, and I hadn't got to it yet, but I'll tell you, he's in my neighborhood, and I'm awfully happy about it. You had just purchased a Cat's Den, and you all now have a location that doesn't have wheels on it, that you're set and put, right?
Yes, ma'am, and we put a lot of work in it last week. We put in a lot of hours.
It looks so pretty.
To, clean it up, remodel, get it, separate the kitchen more so from the dining, which it was discouraging. I mean, we worked our butts off, to get in there and get this done. But I was through a pretty high stress level because we was putting money into a place that we couldn't move.
Right.
Plus, we couldn't have people to come in and dine, so we was doing the carryouts. And in a small county community, we was concerned on how that was going to work. We opened Saturday just for a, test run or something. I mean, we was at a point we was there working, but we was ready to go, and we done great for the first day. We've got people stopping by, calling, so I believe it's going to be all right.
What's the big differences in the two? Well, number one, I want to tell you, I have heard your pizzas are ridiculous.
Well, appreciate
Just
that.
ridiculous in a good way.
We are able to make our pizzas there, which y'all know we've done them on a food truck, but of course with the power and the availability of the ovens, it went well, but it was more of a concern. A food truck only has so much area.
Right.
And you've got 3 people in there working. And it gets to be a frustrating day. Everybody gets arrogant, I guess, in a sense. And we
stepping on each other, aren't you?
We're stepping on each other. We're getting in everybody's way. And so our food truck has went more so from a food truck to we're operating a full restaurant basically out of that food truck. Our menu is just too huge for the truck.
It's unbelievable.
It's too huge for the truck. We've looked at reducing the menu down somewhat for the truck to make it simpler, but it doesn't work. I mean, if we cut something out, then we've got people that wants it. If we do a special today, they want it tomorrow, and then it grows.
As he looks at me, because I'm always like, have you got catfish today? Hey, John. Hey, Crystal, you got catfish today? You got pickles today?
And we tried that on the Fridays and Saturdays evenings and stuff. It done good, but then again, people want that kind of stuff more so to sit out and eat.
Right.
And they wasn't utilizing the picnic tables as well. And we have people to ask us, is it okay if we sit here? Naturally, it's okay. I mean, that's what they're there for. We like for you to sit there and eat, come to the window. We enjoy meeting and talking to you. And sometimes the lines may slow up because we are talking to you. We're getting to know you. And we know a lot of ours on a personal level, and that's a great thing. I mean, they're not just coming in and out. We have people come from out of town.
Well, you've been neighbors for a long time with a lot of people that have been in, especially on the north end of the county. But you had an ad over the weekend about Slap Your Mama Good Burgoo. I heard that it was that good.
As far as the advertising goes on most of that stuff, that's Crystal.
No, I'm telling you, I heard it was amazing. That was just really, really good. And we're impressed and happy and proud of you.
Good burgers. Good.
It's hard to come by. Not everybody knows how to do that, the right way. And it is. It's good. We're so happy for you and excited for you and the possibilities out there. I can tell you we could bust for you. And I hope everything goes good. Make sure that everybody knows the telephone numbers, the times that you're going to be there, the days that you're going to be there.
The number to the trailer, we've got 3 different numbers. The green trailer is 963-3785. It's open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 5 at the moment. The store is 963-8162. My personal number, if anybody needs anything, is 625-0565. The store is open right now 10 to 6, but hey, like we mentioned, our hours, we're willing to stay. We're willing to do what we need to do. I've talked to the employees. We're willing to step up and do what needs to be done.
And how many days a week is that?
At the store, right now, we're Monday through Saturday. We are looking at maybe adding the Sundays here. Which when all this is over, it will be 7 days. We'll have a full breakfast menu, lunch. We'll be bringing the same plate lunches we offer at the trailer to the store. Dining, suppers.
And when you say plate lunches, it's not just barbecue. He's talking about chicken and dumplings and vegetables. The green beans, I've heard, are ridiculous.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf, yes.
Right.
Everybody doesn't want just barbecue. I mean, that's where we run into. You may come to lunch with Ty. You may want barbecue. Ty's sitting there thinking, I don't really want barbecue.
I want a burger or something.
But he wants a burger, so we do the burger. And we're building, if you watch, our burger menu is just growing.
Even the ribeye sandwich.
I was by there. My mom, my stepmother and father were here from Florida a couple weeks ago. We stopped by. I could not, and it had been a while, could not believe the menu selections out there at the backside of that truck.
I have a great
By the way,
crew.
at WPKY Princeton. How about that?
I have a great crew. I mean, they're very imaginative.
Yeah.
They can sit in there and throw stuff together and build stuff and do. that I look at and go, seriously? And it's a hit. And, of course, I try everything they make because, I mean, they go talk about how good it is, so we have to try it naturally.
There you go.
I mean, I could not be where I'm at without my crew. Friends, I've got a friend he went to the store. They've kept my stress level down this week, and I know I've had to apologize to them because I've just about broke down. I mean, and I get, and I snap. I mean, I'm not the same person that I used to be years ago, but the same person years ago was still in there, and it's sometimes hard to control it, especially when you're under the stress level that you are. And
I've told you before, I think you're on the way up. It's onward and upward, big boy, and we love you, and we're proud of you and Crystal and all of the things that you're doing, and we see good things on the horizon. Just everybody needs to remember to, you know, if when you get a chance to go to your local places and your local people that have been, you know, they've been living here all of their life and been supporting the businesses here, and now it's our turn to give back to them.
That's
and
exactly right.
we appreciate you more than you know, man.
appreciate y'all having us in. We appreciate all that you do. WPQY has been great to us and our business, advertising and doing, and I mean, we couldn't be here without you.
Hey, I joke about his fried pickles, but I'm telling you, they're my favorite right there. They will make you happy. Again, tell them your phone number so they can get a hold of you.
Green Trailer, 963-3785. Store, Farmersville, 963-8162. My personal number, 625-0565.
And that is Big
All
John Lundstrom from Big John's BBQ. And, of course, Best of West Kentucky voted, Ty?
Yep, 2 years in a row.
Best food truck. How about that?
Best food truck. Go by and check them out. And I'm sure they have a great location out there. They've been working on the cat stand you can pick up out there. Give them a call. Get you some lunch or some dinner from Big John's BBQ.
It's all from 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
As we all continue with social distancing and doing all we can on the prevention of the spread of the COVID-19 virus, it's important you have reliable information. That's why Legendary Media with